What if I told you that you could generate AI images right on your own computer without uploading anything to the cloud, without paying monthly subscriptions, and without anyone tracking what you're creating? That's not science fiction anymore. It's actually pretty easy to do right now. Hey, I'm Mark, and today we're breaking down local AI image generators, what they are, why they're actually kind of amazing, and how you can get started today even if you've never touched a terminal in your life. So first things first, what even is a local AI image generator? Basically, it's an AI model that lives on your computer instead of on some company's server in the cloud. You know those tools like DALL-E or Midjourney where you type a description and it spits out an image. Same idea, except the AI is running right there on your hardware. No internet required. No account needed. No one's watching. It's just you, your computer, and some seriously clever machine learning software. Now, I know what you're thinking. Doesn't that require some crazy expensive setup? A supercomputer in my basement? A PhD in computer science? The honest answer is no. Not anymore. The barrier to entry has dropped so much that if you have a decent gaming PC or even a MacBook with decent specs, you're probably already halfway there. Let me break down why this matters. First, there's privacy. When you use a cloud-based image generator, your prompts are being sent to a server somewhere. Companies can see what you're creating. They can use that data. They might sell it or use it to train their own models. With a local generator, that doesn't happen. Your ideas stay yours. That alone is huge if you're working on creative projects, business ideas, or anything you want to keep confidential. Second, there's cost. Midjourney runs you $15 a month. DALL-E charges per image. Stable Diffusion, the open source version that runs locally, completely free. You generate as many images as you want for the price of the electricity it takes to run your computer. Once you set it up, you're done paying. That's a massive difference if you're someone who likes to experiment a lot. Third, there's control. With local models, you can customize everything. You can tweak the settings, use different models, combine different tools, or even train the AI on your own images if you want. Cloud services give you what they decide to give you. Local setups let you be the architect. Okay, so how does this actually work? Let me walk you through the basic setup. The most popular open-source image generation model right now is called Stable Diffusion. It was released by a company called Stability AI, and they made it open source, which means anyone can use it, modify it, and build on top of it. That's the foundation. But Stable Diffusion by itself is just code. You need a user interface to actually use it. That's where projects like Automatic 1111 come in. This is a free, open-source web interface that lets you run Stable Diffusion on your computer without touching any code. You download it, run it, and boom, you get a local web interface that looks and feels kind of like DALL-E or Midjourney, but it's all running on your machine. Now, let's talk hardware. What do you actually need? If you have an NVIDIA graphics card, something like a GTX 1080 or better, you're in great shape. NVIDIA cards are optimized for this kind of work. AMD cards work too, though the setup is slightly different. And if you're on Mac, the newer chips like the M1 or M2 actually handle this pretty well because of their architecture. The minimum specs? Honestly, you can get decent results on a computer with 8 GB of RAM and a mid-range graphics card. Will it be fast? Maybe not lightning quick, but it'll work. If you want speed, you're looking at 16 GB of RAM and a more powerful GPU. But the point is, you don't need to drop thousands of dollars. The actual installation process is pretty straightforward these days. You download the Automatic 1111 repository from GitHub, run an installer, and it handles most of the setup for you. On Windows, there's literally a batch file you can click. On Mac and Linux, it's a few terminal commands, but they're copy-paste, nothing complicated. Within maybe 10 to 15 minutes, you could have a fully functional local image generator running. Once it's set up, you just open a browser window, go to localhost, and you're looking at an interface where you type in your prompt. You tweak some settings, how many steps you want the AI to take, what kind of sampler you want to use, the resolution, all that stuff, and you hit generate. Then your computer does the work. Depending on your hardware, you might wait 30 seconds or a couple minutes, and out comes your image. But here's where it gets really interesting. Because it's all running locally and it's all open source, the community has built extensions and add-ons that are honestly wild. There's an extension called ControlNet that lets you feed in a sketch or a photo and use it to guide the AI. There are upscalers that can make your images sharper and higher resolution. There are tools for in-painting. Basically, You can select a part of an image and have the AI regenerate just that part. It's incredibly powerful. You can also use different models. Stable Diffusion is the most popular, but there's also models like Dream Shaper, Deliberate, or Realistic Vision if you want different aesthetics. Some are better at photorealism, others at art styles, others at specific things like anime or fantasy. You can download multiple models and switch between them depending on what you're creating. Now, I want to be honest about the trade-offs. Local generators aren't as polished as cloud services. Midjourney's interface is sleeker. The default models might not be quite as good at certain things as the latest proprietary models. And yeah, you have to deal with some technical setup. It's not as simple as just clicking a button. But if you're willing to spend maybe an hour getting it set up and learning the basics, the payoff is huge. Unlimited generations, complete privacy, full control, no subscription fees. And honestly, the quality is genuinely impressive now. We're not talking about weird AI art from 5 years ago. These models are actually good. There's also a middle ground worth mentioning. If you don't want to run everything locally but still want privacy and control, there are services like Replicate or Runway ML that let you run open source models on their servers. But they're still open source, and you're paying per generation instead of a monthly fee. But my personal take? If you have the hardware, go local. There's something really satisfying about having this incredibly powerful creative tool running on your own machine, completely under your control, with no one else involved. It feels like the future of creative AI should be distributed, open, and in the hands of the people actually using it. So if you're curious about AI, if you like creating stuff, or if you're just interested in having cool tech that respects your privacy, I'd seriously recommend trying this out. The barrier to entry has never been lower. And who knows? You might find that you actually prefer it to the cloud services. If this was helpful, or if you learned something new about how AI actually works, please hit that subscribe button. We're making videos about AI and tech every week, breaking down the stuff that sounds complicated and making it actually understandable. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.